So you're thinking about moving to Carmel, Indiana. Well, today we are on a mission to find the most affordable homes here in Carmel. So stick around, you don't want to miss it, so stick around. Welcome to the Discovering Central Indiana YouTube channel. I'm Eric with the Pels Realty Group, and if this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Central Indiana and the Central Indiana market, go ahead and subscribe. My business partner Julie and I, we get calls and texts every single day from people just like you who are looking to make their move to Central Indiana. So whether that's in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or set up a Zoom call. So today we are going to go through and look at some more affordable homes here in Carmel, Indiana. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and preface what is affordable. So a little bit about the Carmel, Indiana real estate market as of right now here in December. So the median home price in Carmel is going to be $627,000. Now, with median price, that can fluctuate based off of sales and inventory. So next month, the median price could be down a little bit depending on how many sales happened in December. But right now, the median price is $627,000. So in terms of inventory, we have less than a month of inventory here in Carmel. So again, going back to that question, what is affordable? So honestly, in Carmel, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a $200,000 or $250,000 home, or in some cases, a $300,000 home. So we're going to go and show you what is affordable for Carmel and this area. And you can have a different opinion on what's affordable, but unfortunately, affordability here in Carmel is not great. But we're going to show you the most affordable homes right now. The first stop on our list is going to be the Westons neighborhood. It's a pretty expansive neighborhood, and the home that we are going to be featuring in this neighborhood is going to be 3843 Constitution Drive. This home is listed for $319,900, and as you can see, it is a ranch. It's got 2 beds and 2 bathrooms with a total of 1,245 square feet, and it was built in 1996. This is the year I was actually born. Walking through the Weston community in this section, it's got multiple sections, and with this section, it's a nice section. It's got the homes themselves are going to be a combination of 2-story and ranches, with mainly you're going to have vinyl siding on most of these homes. These homes are going to be anywhere from 1,200 square feet, probably all the way up to maximum 2,500 square feet. Ranging prices, honestly, the home that we just showed you is going to be the cheapest one for $319. Going to probably range from $319 all the way up to $450, $445. Just seeing these houses. Most of these homes are going to have 2-car garages, even the ranches, and some of them are going to be actually kind of split. Still 2-car garages, but I'll turn around and kind of show you guys what I mean by that. So this home right behind me, right here, it's got like a pillar in between the garage, 2 garage doors. So they're single garage doors, but you can fit 2 cars in them, if that makes sense. Right there with that pillar right down the middle. Just be careful not to hit it when you back up. So since this community is so close to Michigan Road, there's so many amenities on Michigan Road. You got Kroger's, you got a ton of different restaurants throughout. So you have a lot of stuff that you can do for shopping, and also some other amenities and things to do as well right off of Michigan. This community does have HOA fees, and the HOA fees are going to be $650, and that's going to be annually. One thing I do notice as I walk through the community is these are well-kept homes, well-kept and manicured yards. I will say one thing though is there's not a lot of variety when it comes to home styles. Most of these homes are very similar in how they look. And here's a disclaimer: since the Weston community is pretty expansive, it's pretty big, it's really going to vary with pricing. This section, like I said earlier, is a little cheaper, if you will. Starting around $319, probably going up to $450, $475. Other sections of this community, they're going to start at like $450 and probably go up to like $550, if not $600 in certain areas of this community. So just fair warning if you're looking in this area. The second home on our list is going to be in the village of Mount Carmel, and it is 101 Parkview Road. This home is listed for $385, so that's quite increase in price, but this home was also newly remodeled as well. It's got 4 bedrooms, 2 full baths with a square footage of 1,600 1956, and it was built in 1968. So this whole community is built within the 60s and 70s, and it definitely has a different feel, a more mature, established feel to it. And one interesting fact that I found out in my research for the video is this community has a voluntary HOA, and when I mean voluntary, you don't have to, obviously you don't have to be a part of the HOA, but if you want to have access to some of the neighborhood amenities like the pool and tennis courts, you're going to have to pay for that HOA. And luckily, annually, that HOA fee isn't going to be terrible. It's estimated to be around $300 to $350 per year. So it's nice that it's optional. If you don't want to be a part of it, you don't have to, but again, if you want to use the amenities like the pool and tennis courts, you're going to have to be part of it. And in terms of the location of this neighborhood and this house, we are right on the border of Carmel and Westfield. So some of the major roads are going to be 146th and Oak Ridge Road. So when you're looking at a map, 146 and where Carmel and Westfield meet, on the south side of the road is going to be Carmel. On the north side of the road is going to be Westfield. So it's very close to things like Clay Terrace, the outdoor shopping center and mall. So that's super nice. You also are pretty close to a lot of Westfield's amenities as well. And just walking through this community, like I said, it's a more established and mature neighborhood. The downside is there are no sidewalks in this portion of the community, so walking on the road. But the houses, there's some commonalities and similarities, but you have variety as well. You got ranches, you got 2 stories, ranch there, but also a 2-story as well. Got a 2-story in front of me. Chimney's not looking good. I used to sell chimney masonry repair, so I sell that all the time. Got spalling brick and all that fun stuff on that white chimney. But just in terms of the neighborhood, I like the mature trees. That's a very nice thing. Now, granted, the trees are bare right now because it is December, winter, almost winter, not quite winter yet, I think. But anyway, it's a very nice community, very mature and quiet. Great place to honestly relax, have company over. You are very close to just different amenities in this community. In terms of pricing, so obviously you have the $385, which is honestly probably going to be more of the base price, starting price, and it just depends. Since these are a little bit older homes, it depends on how updated a home is. If the home needs updating, the materials, the siding, because it's a combination of a lot of masonry, but you also have vinyl siding as well in some of these communities, and like a combination of masonry and hardy plank siding as well. Very diverse. But in terms of pricing, I'm gonna say anywhere from $350 all the way up to, I've seen homes in here for close to $600,000, and that's going to be more of your 2-story homes. And some of these homes do have a basement as well, since it's just such a large community. You just have such a variety of home styles, which is honestly really nice. So your neighbor's home isn't going to look exactly like yours, or the person right across the street, that home isn't going to look exactly like yours either. So that's a super nice thing about this community. The third stop on our list is going to be the Lake Forest neighborhood here in Carmel, and the house behind me right there, the address is going to be 11618 Rose Court. It's priced at $389,900 with 3 beds and 2 full baths. This home was built in 1991, and I noticed that the property itself had a little box of sheets with information, so I'm just going to go ahead and read this to you guys. So this is a nicely maintained 3-bed, 2 full bath home, large deck and screened porch for outdoor living. It's got cathedral ceilings and a gas fireplace in the great room. It's got a large kitchen and a nook plus breakfast bar with cathedral ceilings. A pantry for added storage. Primary suite has a private bath and double sinks, jetted tub, shower, and walk-in closet. Access to deck from the primary suite. Upper level is a bonus space in the family room, nice office, and wet bar with built-ins. So that's kind of the general consensus of this home. So let's go ahead and check out the neighborhood itself. As we walk through Lake Forest, it is a nice, quiet neighborhood. Honestly, like a lot of neighborhoods here in Carmel. You do have some retention ponds throughout the neighborhood, which is a nice added bonus. You can kind of see one back there just a little bit. Walking through the houses, they're very nice section. They're mainly ranches. A lot of the The style is going to be more masonry, whereas other neighborhoods that we've shown you so far, more vinyl. I think having masonry siding is a really nice thing, even if it's just a little bit of a veneer. Here's a better view of the pond. In terms of the size of the backyards, especially, you know, right by the pond, backyards aren't huge, but that's okay, honestly, and it really just depends on what you're looking for in terms of size of backyards and what you want. But in terms of the houses, the roof lines, the roofs themselves, the pitches kind of vary. You know, the one right behind me, it varies a little bit. You know, you got more, you know, gables, some peaks and valleys, somewhat steep, but then other roofs are going to be super steep. But they also have a common theme. There isn't tons and tons of variety when it comes to just the ranches themselves. They all look very similar, like a lot of homes, honestly, in this price point, because these homes were built in the 90s. And when they were building those homes in the 90s, they had, like, you know, 3 or 4 plans, and it was kind of like, you know, every other home was, you know, the same or a little bit different, not much change. When we're talking about pricing, again, the home we just showed you is $389,900, and that's honestly going to be more of a base price. It was a ranch, but when we come to like 2-story homes that are in this community, you're going to be looking more probably around mid fours to base price to, you know, upper 5s, probably even 6s, depending on if the home was remodeled. Especially if the home was remodeled, honestly, any of these homes that were remodeled are going to command a higher asking price. That's just the reality. But of course, then you also get a nice updated kitchen or bathrooms or whatever updates they might have done. Since with the 2 stories you have twice as much square footage, they're definitely going to be more expensive. One nice thing about this community is its location. And it's located right off of 116th Street and Hazeldale, which can be honestly a blessing or a curse, because both 116th can be a very busy road and Hazeldale can be a very busy road. If you're wanting to make a left turn out of this community onto 116th, have fun, because it's going to be pretty difficult to make that left turn at certain times of days. And honestly, so it's right around 2 p.m. when I'm walking through and filming this in this neighborhood, and 116th is quite busy. Honestly, it's almost always busy. One nice thing about the community and where it's located is some of the amenities. So you have Founders Park right down the street. If you're wanting to get to downtown Carmel, that's going to be about anywhere from 4.2 to 4.5 miles. So it'll take you 10 to 12 minutes depending on traffic and time of day that you go. And when we're talking about HOA fees, this community does have an HOA. Most communities in Carmel are going to have HOAs. That HOA fee is going to be $525 a year, which is not terrible for an HOA here in Carmel. Fourth and final home is going to be 211 John Street, and this is located right off of 146th. So if I come out a little bit here, 146 is right out there. So from where this home is, I can hear some road noise. But anyway, here are some stats about the home. So it's a 3-bedroom, 2 full bath. It's got 1,534 square feet, built in 1962. No HOA, and that's pretty attractive to a lot of people, because I know a lot of people don't like HOAs. It's one of the few non-HOA communities here in Carmel. And this community is rolling Meadows, just in case I haven't mentioned that before. So one disclaimer I will say about this house is, yes, it's priced at $290. It is probably one of the cheapest homes here in Carmel, Indiana. But the reason it's priced that way is because it needs updating. So just to be aware, when you're getting into the high 2s here in Carmel, 9 times out of 10, the home will need some updates. And updates can be the sky's the limit, depending on how much you want to spend. But just giving you guys that disclaimer, when you find a home within even the mid to high 2s in Carmel, like, you got to ask yourself, what are the repairs that might need to be made? What are the updates that need to be made? So just absolutely be aware of that. Great for potentially like a first-time home buyer, or even an investor, maybe even more so an investor, especially since there's no HOA here in this community. You don't have to worry about, rental caps or something like that. So this is a pretty nice community. Obviously, it's an older community, which is absolutely okay. Built in the 60s, probably, mid 60s. Early 60s and 70s, and it's a combination of 2 stories and ranches. This street right here is mainly going to be ranches. All of them are going to have 2-story garages. When you're talking about different styles of homes in ranches, most of these are going to be masonry and stone is kind of what I'm seeing. You got the masonry here, you got masonry right across the street, you know, the home right over there that we just talked about is also masonry. So combination of masonry and vinyl. With the 2 stories, you're going to be looking more at, in terms of pricing, probably mid to high 3s and even 4s depending on updates that those homes have, since this neighborhood is one of the older older neighborhoods here in Carmel, Indiana. One downside about this community is there is no sidewalk, so I am currently walking on the street of the community. As I'm walking through, I'd say it's mainly, at least this section, like I said, mainly ranches. It's got a nice quiet feel. It's a little noisy because of 146, because you can literally have 146 right on the other side of those trees. But other than that, it's definitely a nice community. It is nice that you don't have an HOA. Of course, you know, people can be people can be fans of HOAs. It just depends on your stance on them. But yeah, no HOA. But the nice thing is it's so close to amenities. You have Clay Terrace, which is an outdoor mall, you could say, is literally like a minute away from here. You just got to turn left on 146th Street, and then you're practically in Clay Terrace. Clay Terrace got a ton of different stuff, a ton of different restaurants. You have, you know, an Eddie Bauer. You have a ton of shopping areas and just things that you can do within Clay Terrace. I'm a personal fan of Clay Terrace, so something to think about. But this is the Rolling Meadows community, and the home here is one of the cheapest ones here in Carmel, Indiana. So those were the 4 most affordable homes here in Carmel, Indiana. I know the first and second home definitely jumped up in price quite a bit, but that's the unfortunate reality here in Carmel. And when it comes to the affordability aspect here in Carmel, a lot of the homes will need some updates. And all those homes that we showed you are ranches, because ranches are going to be a little more affordable in certain areas right now than, say, 2 stories, because with 2 stories you can have twice as many square feet because you put a second level on that first story. So, but I don't want to discourage you guys. It is definitely possible to find something affordable, hopefully in your price range, depending on what that is here in Carmel. So the best tip that I can give you is buy when it is not peak season, not during the spring and summer, more like fall, even winter, because that's when you're more likely to get a better deal if you're looking to buy pre-existing homes. Hopefully you guys found that video helpful of just the more affordable homes in Carmel, Indiana, and just the neighborhoods themselves as well. And remember, if you're looking to move in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or set up a Zoom call.